I'm Spencer.
And I'm Coors Light. Keep your boars light.
And this is The Itch.
Welcome.
And we're here to review
Etrian
Mystery Dungeon for the 3DS.
And the second time. And we don't talk about that. Anyway, so
basically this is Etrian Odyssey meets Mystery Dungeon.
Yes.
Etrian Odyssey I'm a huge fan of.
Yeah.
Mystery Dungeon I'm not.
Etrian Odyssey is more of like the dungeon crawler where you don't see your character.
Right. It's first person.
It's like Phantasy Star. You got like
Sure.
the four or more characters.
Yeah, and you kind of go through a dungeon that kind of goes down, further and further. And
down, and
Fallout Boy for but basically, and you map it out on your 3DS, on your stylus.
Sugar, we're mapping out DS. It's the remix.
I love Etrian Odyssey.
Okay.
Mystery Dungeon
Can eat a dick.
is where you go through from an isometric perspective, and you walk around on the little thing, and every time you move, the opponent moves, which actually is kind of like Etrian Odyssey also. But
okay.
But every time you move, they move, and your team kind of helps you out and stuff like that. But
What?
it's kind of more you're controlling one person
What?
as they go through it.
What?
My Mystery Dungeon experience comes from Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, which was terrible. At least in my opinion. I hated it.
Hated it.
Really couldn't stand that game. I played it for... And granted, I played it for 15 minutes and put it down.
Dude, Sarah, can you hand me my phone?
Which is a real shame. Real shame. But the story is pretty much non-existent in this game. It's set in a town that's obsessed with explorers. All they do is cater to explorers wherever you go. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Basically, all the story is there to do is to say, you need to go to the bottom of the next dungeon.
Okay.
So you do that. And then there's other things like DOEs, which are the similar to FOEs from the series, which I actually think are handled pretty well.
Definitely obvious enemies.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Whatever you want, just.
Yes. I know it. I know it.
Unfortunately for me, the dungeons follow Mystery Dungeon rules.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that, however, if you played a Mystery Dungeon game, you know what to expect here. The isometric view, walking around that way, which unfortunately I'm not a huge fan of. But in all honesty, it's kind of similar to the Etrian Odyssey series. In a lot of ways. In the way of Mystery Dungeon, you're still controlling the one guy where the other people just follow you around. But those people kind of have their own AI and they do their own thing. So they can shoot spells for you and auto-attack and shoot like that.
So they do everything by themselves?
Yeah, they're autonomous.
Talk about strategy.
They kind of suck, though. The town aspect is where Etrian Odyssey comes into play. There's a lot of, the shop, the inn, all that kind of stuff. Although the inn, you don't actually have to rest because you automatically gain full HP when you get back to town. So it doesn't really make it
just like real life.
Well, one of the things that made Etrian Odyssey challenging was when you got back, you didn't recover anything. You had to sleep at the inn. But the inn continually escalated in price. Mm. So you constantly had to juggle what you just found out in the dungeon with what you're actually paying to sleep at the inn.
It's like a terrible economy. It's a
right.
Shit! Guys, we're hopping it!
So if you like used it too much and stuff, you're pretty much fucked in that game, which was awesome. It really forced you to... It was hard, which is this game completely lacks. Which is basically the gameplay in this one is... It's very easy. The only problem, the only two things going against it is the AI can be kind of dumb sometimes. I had a tank, and every single fight I got myself into, he'd go, shield mode, and he'd try to draw aggro all the time. But I'd be on the first level of the dungeon, which I've already passed like 800 times. So he'd be like, there'd be like a caterpillar that's coming, and he's like, I got this! And he'd use up, I got it! And he'd use up 10 mana, and it's like, don't use it on the little caterpillar.
You dumbass!
It's like, I don't need that. I'm okay. I can handle this. And the other thing are DOEs, which I mentioned earlier. But those actually work a little bit better than the FOEs did in Etrian Odyssey.
Fucking obvious.
Because they actually attack you in these fortresses that you build. And you have to kind of knock it over and then kill it while it's down kind of thing. Which actually works pretty well.
I like your notes. Trusting of AI. Yikes.
I somehow know what to say when that happens. The visuals are pretty bland. I don't really like them. The menus they're nice when they're the Etrian style, but then they kind of delve into this weird aesthetic that I really
like
hate.
They didn't really know.
Yeah. It's like overly hip, which doesn't fit the series at all, and it looks kind of dumb.
Sorry.
And the anime art style isn't something that's for everybody.
Not to me.
It's kind of chibi-ish, where everybody looks 12. And, I mean, there's still some sexiness to it, I thought. I don't know if that's a judgment on me, on my character or something.
Wow.
But...
is it voice acting?
I played with most of the volume down. I got enough to hear the music.
I was gonna say, like, if they...
I'm sure there's a couple like, hey! I'm sure, but there's music in it and just basic like slashing sounds.
Yeah.
Nothing that I really enjoyed. So as soon as, unfortunately, I'm not huge on music in games. So as soon as the music doesn't draw me in, I'm pretty much checked out. And I just flipped on some, Creed, Nickelback, and kind of stuff like that. Me higher. Yeah,
Titan AE.
That's all about it. So what are the pros of this game?
Nothing.
It actually has an addictive dungeon crawling experience. If all you want is the dungeon crawling, there's no story to keep you in at all whatsoever.
Yeah. Good luck!
If you really like dungeon crawling and just want to do that the whole time,
go to a real dungeon.
This is something that could provide you excitement. Yeah, or go to a real dungeon like Shigeru Miyamoto.
Just start.
There's a side quest system that actually encourages back playthrough. Okay. So to go through old dungeons, it's like, I need this. You need to mine this from an old dungeon that you
found. Oh man, it sounds like grinding.
It's very grind heavy, this game, which is again for some people, not for everybody. And it is a lot more forgiving than Etrian Odyssey. So if you found those games to be too hard, you're a pussy. And also, this game might be up your alley. There's also a decent amount of variety.
We love you guys.
There's actually 10 classes you can pick.
Okay.
So that kind of makes it fun. There's like
what was your class?
You can pick. I picked 4 for my main class. It's like a Landsknecht or something. That's like your basic warrior. Then I have a defender, which would be my tank. And then a...
I got it!
he's the guy that wasted all my mana. And then there's a rune master, which would be your mage. And then I think it was a priest or a healer or something like that. Was my healer, obviously. And then it goes into some weird ones, like you can get a gunslinger and a ninja and stuff like that.
I'd be a gunslinger.
Which was cool.
I'd call him Aaron Black.
The cons, this game is ugly, is what I put in here. The story is non-existent, and the gameplay is not for everyone, including myself.
Wow.
Is my personal gripe with it. Unfortunately, it came as more of a mystery dungeon experience than an Etrian Odyssey experience. Would I recommend this game? No. There are a lot of better games in this genre that you could be playing, like any of the Etrian Odyssey series. I only recommend this game if you are a hardcore mystery dungeon fan. In which case, you'll probably find something to like and realize there's better games out there. So absolutely, if you're a mystery dungeon fan, play it, and then...
Either way, you lose.
Exactly. I'm Spencer.
And I'm Jay.
Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Check us out on This Is the Itch on Twitch. We do videos. Thanks for watching.
Bye.